few of these pieces that we'll do with the 3D, and I'll just try one of them and then we'll work on the drawing. So far, these parts, some of you have drawn them together so that they have the different gradients to place on there, and that gives you a little more ability, but there's just a little bit of a 3D section in the software that I just want to show to you. So if you take a look at probably this bottom one here, this cube, and what happens is that you take the rectangle tool, and you saw that this was a 3 by 3, so I'm just going to make it a cube, and I'm going to just give it a solid color and swap this over there. And when you do the 3D, you want to make sure that you do not have a stroke on this outside panel. So here's the fill in the stroke. You can see the red line to it, and I'm just going to give it a light blue filling there. Okay. If you have a stroke on it, what happens is that it renders it, and it does take a lot of time and memory to render it, and sometimes it will lock up your software. So trying to relate this to other 3D objects, under Effects, you'll see 3D and Extrude, Revolve, and Rotate. So when you go to the top one, Extrude and Bevel, you'll see this rectangular shape show up. This is the panel for it. Just going to hit Preview, and you'll see that it puts a side panel to it. The extrusion depth right here is at 50 pt, which stands for point. And when you click on it, you'll get a slider that you can either drag across, or you can click inside and use the arrow key to go up and down to change the size of it. And what you see up here is the positioning of this with the X, Y, and Z coordinates. So when you take a look at it geometrically, you can see you have that stand up for the 3D piece. Inside here you'll see the beginning, so if you take a look at isometric, which is what you're drawing, and click on it, it automatically puts it into this 30-degree angle corresponding right to this grid, so you can see it fits right in there. And you have all these other options. So if you did it from the front, you would see it from the square, and anything from back, left, right, or top, all 6 views. Since it's a cube, it would look pretty much the same. So I'll just keep it as an isometric sketch there. And the other options that you have are there, but I'm just going to click OK to show you how to then edit this. You'll see there's a circle at the top. So just going to map that, which is an elliptical tool. Just shift key it and make a circle. Going to make sure the fill is right there and click on the black. So 2 new things that in the panels will be the symbol. So when you click on symbols, you'll see these show up, and either in the sub menu you can go to new symbol, or you can click down here and click on a new symbol, and this will pop open. So I'll just type in circle, and I'll leave everything as it is right there. Click OK. So now this piece is a symbol, meaning when you duplicate it and change the symbol, for example, I'll make 3 of them, go into the symbol and double click on it. If I select it and I change the color to red, it goes into isolation mode, and when I go back, this symbol dictates everything to all 3 pieces unless you break it apart from that symbol. So that's a nice thing. It takes less time to render, and it also speeds up the saving process for the computer. This part is done in 3D, but you want to edit this. So the second window is called the Appearance panel. So when you click on this one, this shows up over here, and you can see that you now have, I'll separate this one here, it shows you the path. The stroke is now, and the fill is light blue, and it has this 3D extrude and bevel. So when you click on any one of these, for example, you can go back in here and change the color if you wished. So you can see it changes into this section. And if you go into 3D and bevel, it brings you back to this window. So you have to go through the Appearance panel in order to get there. Click on Preview to see what's happening. And down below it has more options and Map Art. More options gives you the shading, and here's the basic shape of the sphere that you see, where you can change the tone, and you'll notice that the lines are gone just like in the shading, and it's just using the gradient to be there. So there's buttons here for adding another light source, changing the characteristics and properties of that light. So you can actually click on another one and set it here, and this one sends it behind. So you can try to manipulate or try the different pieces with the shading. If you don't want it, just take it off. But the part for the map options, when you click on this, this is showing this cube has 6 sides. So the surface is up here, show you all six views. And when you click on it, a corresponding outline of red shows you what plane you're highlighting. So this one is the top. So inside here there's some default symbols, but I'm just going to grab the circle, and it places it default right in the center. And that's what this one is, to try to correspond to that. So I'm just going to click on shade the artwork. It'll slow it down, but it'll let the colors show through the symbols if it needs to. So I click OK, and now I have that three-dimensional piece kind of showing up onto that screen. And again, it's just in the appearance that you can change the coloring. So I can go back to the blue, I can make it a gray, and it depends on which part you work with to go through that section. So it kind of gives you that option to work with. So that's a 3D in a nutshell, just for that first shape.